Good morning, Year 6. Welcome to Wednesday Hump Day. Our joke for today, what kind of music scares a balloon? Pop music.
Pop music.
We're so funny.
I
Let's
reckon
move on.
my dad would be happy with that joke.
Okay, let's move on to literacy. So today we're just making sure that we get through our literacy activities. I'm noticing there's a few kids who aren't writing on this doc what activities they've done for the day. So if you can write on here what you've done for the day, that would be handy for us teachers. And then just making sure you're filling out what you've learned and the date that you've done those activities. Remember, making sure you get through those STAR tasks first before you just do all the non-STAR tasks.
That'll take us into shared reading. So from that text, we're still looking at high jumpers heal the world and other Olympic highlights. Mrs. Moore and I noticed that in this article that they have used really good supporting details to outline the events that have occurred in each different section and about those different Olympic events. So Mrs. Moore and I, when we were going through this text, we were having a look. So yesterday we talked about how they had a really good introduction and they set us up. And then it starts to filter down. We've got that introductory topic, that heading. Then that introductory sort of like section here where they start to introduce the topic to us. And then it starts to funnel down into a little bit more of the finer details. So we started to learn about how the two men that jumped, how they got there, and that they both got a gold medal. After that, there is more supporting detail that the author has given about how both of these men received their gold medal. So in the next paragraph, Barsham and Tambury each recorded their best clearance of 2.37 meters and given the choice of a playoff or sharing the title. The two men hugged it out on the track in emotional scenes. These different sections here, as they continue to go down, they start to provide more information about how both of those men got to that gold medal. And that's what a good author does when they're writing a news article, is that they start to give details and information about things that are important to the text and that are related to them.
Because Mr. Martin, if we have a look, the next section's about how they went in previous Olympics. Mm-hmm. And then the next one's about an ankle injury that they had. And then the next one gives us a quote about how they felt about it. So it really tunneling down and giving us that connection with how important it is that they did share that gold medal, that Olympic spirit that they have.
And that then also directly relates to that opening paragraph there. So what they're doing is that as it starts to go on, like we've said, they're adding more finer details, they're adding quotes, they're telling us about the past and how they built up to get to this gold medal. So what you are going to need to do today is that we've asked you to, that's the example we've gone through. In the text, they have other different subsections and subheadings where they talk about different Olympic events. What we want you guys to do is find another example from the text where the author has used good supporting details to explain what happened in the Olympic event. So what you can have a look at on that article is maybe you might have a look at this section here. So what happened? Maybe you can read that section and tell us what has the author done really well in that section to support what happened and give us good explanation of what happened. Maybe you might have a look at Peter Bol in that section there. You could do Incredible Italy. Or the last one you could do is maybe Bronze Party for Barty. Now, you don't need to do all those. You just need to choose one part and explain to us which section do you believe they've used really good supporting detail and evidence to support what they're talking about and give us a good understanding of what happened.
Just like Mr. Martin and I have just explained just then, that's all you need to do. So it's nothing major. We just want you to identify some of those key facts that they obviously researched before they wrote their text. So they would have researched this information and then they've written their text. So what are those facts that they've researched to be able to put into their text?
Yeah. And then you guys can just put your answers here on the following slide.
All right, that's moving into writing now. So writing, we've been planning, we've been doing some of that research of some facts, and we've been finding the information that we need to be able to write our news article. So today we want you to really think about what could my heading be. So remember in our shared reading text, it was Olympic high jumpers heal was it Heal
Heal
the
the
World and other Olympic highlights. It was very catchy. It was using personification, hyperbole. It was using a hyperbole to be able to hook in their reader. So we want you to really think about, well, what could my heading be? And then we want you to start your introduction. Now, you need to remember that in your introduction, it's not a whole paragraph as such. You might just want to do 2 short sections for your introduction. But what we want you to do today is we want you to make sure you hand in that work today so that Mr. Martin and I can give you feedback, or Mrs. Eisenhower give you feedback on that work, so you know what to do the next day, because we're still going to give you time the next day to do this work. So you've got today and tomorrow to think about a heading and to think about what your introduction is going to be. And you need to work on the feedback that Mr. Martin or any of us teachers give you.
Yeah, and if you want a good example, guys, have a look here again. You might only do like maybe one small part like that, or maybe you might do a little bit more. Start broad with your topic and your heading, and you might funnel it down just to introduce your topic and talk about what you're going to be talking about, whatever you've chosen to do. And then maybe you might start to give a little bit of the finer details if you get up to that. If you only get up to that part about giving us a broad idea of what this text is going to be about, that's going to be fine as well. Just like Mrs. Moore said, just make sure you hand it in to us so we can give you some feedback. That will take us into maths. So warm up, like we've been doing, log into Matific, log into Study Ladder and complete one task as a warm up. Then this is your rich task. The capacity of a container is 240 milliliters. What are the possible dimensions for the container if it was a rectangular prism? List at least 3 different possibilities. So the thing you'll need to remember is that I know that 1 milliliter takes up 1 cubic centimeter. So maybe the volume, you might need to think about converting. If I've got 240 milliliters, how much would that be in cubic centimeters? Because I know 1 cubic centimeter equals 1 milliliter. So 1 milliliter must equal 1 cubic centimeter. Then you need to think about what the possible dimensions of that shape could be. So thinking about those 3 different measurements, your length, your width, and your height, to multiply together to get to 240. If you are looking for a bit of an extension, we have created videos on how to on finding the volume of a triangular prism and how to find the volume of a cylinder. So if you'd like to try that out, see if you can try finding what the dimensions could be if it was a cylinder or a triangular prism, still for 240 milliliters. Now, if you're doing the cylinder, it might not be able to get exactly on 240, but see if you can get as close to it as you possibly can.
And that takes us into our religion. So our religion this week is just continuing on with our work from last week. So last week, you started researching people that were important in Mary MacKillop's life. So today you're going to finish off those 3 people. So there were 6 of them altogether. You were doing 3 and then 3 this week. So that's all you need to finish today. Just finish off those 3 people from St. Mary MacKillop. Now, if you did finish yours last week and you've finished them all, you've got an early mark. Well done.
For today.
Yep. Have a great day, Year 6. See you at 9:30 on our Zoom meeting.
And send Mrs. Moore any questions or on our Google Classroom or emails if you have them for us.
Remember, make sure you're handing in your work. We're giving out points this afternoon.
Yep, we are. All right. Thanks, Year 6.
Bye, Year 6.